Welcome to our St Andrews Wargaming 40k Battle Report, featuring today my Astra Militarum will be making their debut on the channel, taking on Doug's Drukhari force in a Maelstrom of War mission on my new Badlands battlefield. And here we have 1500 points of Cadian Astra Militarum, consisting of 2 battalion detachments. So leading this army is my company commander here with a power sword and a plasma pistol, and he will have the warlord trait Superior Tactical Training, which is the Cadian warlord trait, meaning that whenever he issues an order on a 4+, another unit can benefit from the same order if they're within 6 inches. I'm also giving them Kurov's Aquila to try and get back some command points during the game. I have a second company commander, just a standard to allow me to issue more orders. A Primaris Psyker, who will have Night Shroud, giving the enemy units -1 to hit against a selected unit. And a tank commander in the back here, the Layman Russ with the battle cannon, las cannon and 2 heavy bolters. For my troops, I have 6 infantry squads. I've got 3 with heavy bolters and grenade launchers and a couple of Voxcasters in there. 3 with flamers and a couple of Voxcasters as well. For my heavy support units, I have an autocannon kill team. I've got a missile launcher kill team, and then we'll move on to the vehicles. I have 2 Wyverns with Storm Shard rocket launchers and heavy bolters. I've got 2 Chimeras with multi-lasers and heavy bolters, and I've got 2 Layman Russ tanks, 1 Punisher with Punisher cannon and 3 heavy bolters, and another with a battle cannon, las cannon and 20 heavy bolters. So this gives me a good mix of vehicle firepower and infantry units for holding objectives. Oh, sorry, almost forgot. For my elites, I have a command squad with 2 plasma guns, a Voxcaster and a Medipack to help out with my characters. So that is the Astra Militarum force. Let's take a look at what Doug has brought for today. Here we have Doug's Drukhari army, featuring a single battalion detachment. Really nice army, which I've played before on the channel. Doug, do you want to take us through what you've got?
Yeah, so I have a battalion of Black Heart with 4 Venoms, 3 squads of 5 warriors with blasters. It's led by the Incarn and a Archon who is modelled with a blaster but doesn't have one for this game. And then there is a Prophets of Flesh Spearhead, led by Urian Rakath, with 6 Talos, with Haywire and Chain Flails. Yeah, I've just faced these recently at a tournament and they were pretty nasty, so hopefully I'll be able to do some damage to them, but I don't have my special issue ammo to take them out and win them on 2s, so this could be problematic for the guard. Your warlord is the Archon. With what? So he has the trait of Labyrinthine Cunning, and before the game I'm going to spend a CP to give Urian his warlord trait, which allows me to generate D3 CP on top of that. So Archon Relic, there is just nothing else really to take. Parasite's Kiss for the pistol is interesting, but Writ of the Living Muse because he's going to be jumping out into combat, hopefully, given those reroll 1s to wound. Yep. Okay, so here is the Drukhari army. We'll take you over the army deployment and the mission that we're playing today. Today's mission is the Strategic Gamble Maelstrom of War mission from Chapter Approved 2018. This is the one where you get 3 cards per turn, and if you choose to, you can discard 2 of your cards and draw 1 other, and if you manage to score that card, it's worth double points. So a nice gamble. If you get a bad hand, you can potentially score big. Here is the board setup for today using my new Badlands board. Take you through the objectives. We have objective number 1 in the crater here.
Objective number 2 behind the bastion, just there. 6 just in front of the Drukhari lines. We have 5 in my deployment zone, 3 over here, and objective number 4 just behind this rock face there. As you can see, for the objective we rolled search and destroy, which is potentially not useful for me as I'm kind of bunched together in my deployment zone. So going over the deployment, we have a Chimera on my left flank here with one of the flamer squads inside. We have my infantry squads and autocans in front of them. At the back here we have a company commander, my tank commander, who's got the las pistol on his roof here, another Lehman Russ and my Psyker. Got the 2 Wyverns behind this rock spire. We've got the missile launcher heavy weapons team with my Warlord and the command squad. Another infantry squad in front of them. Over here we have a Punisher, and then a Chimera with another unit inside, and one of the Flamer infantry squads just to the side here. So a little bunch together. Hopefully in my turn I can move out and bring some of my firepower to bear. For the Drukhari, we have the Yukon at the back here, but if Doug's able to kill a unit, this can teleport into his lines, which could prove problematic for me. We have a Venom to his left flank here. Most of these out of line of sight in case he gets seized on. Another 3 Venoms with the Archon clustering around the middle, and then the 2 units of Talos and the Uriel, is it? Yes. Uriel behind the big bastion in the middle here. So some good line of sight blocking in this, and the Drukhari a little closer than I'd hope. I was hoping we'd get something like Dawn of War or Hammer and Anvil where I could spread out a bit more. As it is, Doug really just has to focus on one area to try and take it out. As mentioned, Doug, due to the roll-offs, Doug had to deploy first and will get first turn unless I'm able to seize the initiative, which let's see if I can. This could be problematic. No, that's a 3, so I'm assuming Doug will take the first turn.
Yeah, I need to be quite aggressive in this game, I think. I'm obviously outranged a lot because it's Imperial Guard, so I need to get stuck in and hopefully touch up some tanks.
Yeah, so as you were saying beforehand, with his firepower, he does have the Haywire from the Talos, but not a huge amount of other anti-tank other than in melee. So hopefully my guard screens can sacrifice themselves well while still going after the Maelstrom missions. So we'll come back to you with the first turn for the Drukhari. For Doug's first turn, he drew Secure Objective 1, Fear and Terror, which is cause a failed morale check, and Area Denial. Pretty good draw, I think. Objective 1 is right here, so this Venom can probably go get it. He's getting full points for Area Denial, because I can't do anything in my turn. And fail a morale test is entirely likely, given the poor morale, unless I want to spend all my command points on that, but I think he's going to hold on to these 3 just now. So that is the cards drawn. A good set. Should be able to get, well, will get at least 2 of them, I imagine, maybe even 3. We'll see how Doug decides to move for his first turn. End of the movement phase. Just want to mention I did spend the 2 CP on prepared positions. Doug rolled to try and get them back, but he didn't get any additional CP. I figured that with all the splinter fire from the Venoms it might help save my infantry. So as expected, one of the Venoms did move up on this objective. The other Venoms moved round to get into the range of my Lehman Russ and my infantry squads, whereas the Talos on the other side of this bunker all moving up supported by Uriel. Not going to be in range for their Haywire, for the tanks at the moment, but hopefully in subsequent turns they'll be able to get in. Well, not hopefully for me, but hopefully for Doug. So that is the end of the movement phase. No psychic phase, obviously, for the Drukhari. Oh no, sorry, you do have Drukhari, but you still have your Karn hiding at the back here for the moment. So she might be able to,
anyway.
yeah, maybe able to, no, it's not in range to do anything. So with that, we will move on to some of the shooting, and we'll come back and see what the opening volley for the Drukhari can do, and if Doug can score first strike. Start the shooting phase. The Archon fired his Phantasm grenade launcher at this front infantry unit, hitting, so they're at -1 leadership, but causing no damage. This Venom over here is going to start proceedings firing this squad, and I'm going to use the take cover stratagem.
2 hits.
Okay, so Doug just rolled off camera there. 2 hits, so perhaps not the best use of this stratagem, but 2 wins. And that will take me up to 3 up cover, 3 up save, because I used prepared positions on them. Double 6, both saves, so I'm now down to 10 CP, and the first opening volley from the Venoms was unsuccessful. We'll do the other Venom firepower, which I am hoping will be just as effective, but I'm sure Doug is hoping for a lot better shots, and we'll see which of my guard units take a toll in this. End of the Drukhari shooting phase, and the squad here took a bit of a pasting, losing 7 of their number to the splinter fire. The Chimera here was targeted by the 3 blasters in the squad, one of which missed, 2 hit and wounded, but I managed to save 1 on a 6+ thanks to the prepared positions, so it took 3 wounds in total. This squad here also took some firepower, losing 3 of their number to the Talos fire, and then the Talos targeted this 2nd infantry squad back here, them suffering 2 wounds as well. So I believe that's all your shooting done. There's not going to be any charges, I don't think, because there's no one in range. So for morale, this squad here lost 3, and they're at -1, meaning they are leadership 6 at the moment, so I need a 2, which I think I'm going to be okay with. And I roll a 1, that's unfortunate. This squad over here lost 2, they're leadership 7, so on a 6 I can lose 1, and they're okay. And I'm going to spend 2 CP on Insane Bravery to stop this squad from fleeing.
I'm going to Agents of Vector.
And, okay, so Doug has decided to Agents of Vect this. Ideally, I think to give him both first strike and his fear and terror objective. So on a 2+,
yep.
so it goes off, but I keep the CP. So that means I have lost 7 of this squad. So I'm basically losing an additional D6. What I might do then is spend 1 CP on the guard stratagem for rolling a morale check on a D3. So that means I'm going to lose D3 of these models. As long as I don't roll a 5 or 6, I shouldn't give up first strike. But let's see. So, and no, so I lose 2 of the squad, leaving 1 remaining alive. So let's take 2 of these guys, and I'll leave the... There should be a flamer in the squad actually. I'll need to go back and change that and put the flamer back in, because I would have kept him. So we'll lose 2 and keep the flamer. So that takes the unit down to 1 model, but it does deny first strike. And you get to roll to see if you get the CP back, because I spent 1.
So I do get a CP back.
Okay. Do you get to roll even? Oh, that was for Vect. Ah, okay, it's not just mine.
So I spent 4 as well, so you get to roll as well.
That's true. I get to see if I regain 1, and I don't.
Why couldn't they have been your saves?
Yeah, why couldn't have? So at the end of his first turn, quick first turn for Doug, he will score Superior Objective 1, he will score Fear and Terror, and he will score D3 for Area Denial. Do you want to roll for that?
Is that not at the end of the battle round? Oh, end of your turn. Right.
Yeah, so, and that's 2, so that gives him 4 points starting on turn 1, which is a very good start. And I'll need to see what cards I can draw and what I can come back with. Turn 1 for the Astra Militarum, I draw Defend Objective 1, Defend Objective 2 and Secure Objective 6. Objective 1 is here, which I can really get to, but holding it for 2 turns against all the venom firepower might be difficult. Objective 2, which I have to defend, is over here, which is going to be difficult. And even Objective 6, which is right in front of the Talos here, which I probably can get to if I want to sacrifice a squad. So we'll see how that works out. What I think I'm going to do is use the gamble. I'm going to ditch Defend 1 and Defend 2, and let's see what I draw. Secure 5, which I'm sitting on right now, so that was a good draw for me. So I'll definitely get Secure 5 for 2 points. Whether or not I can get Secure 6 is going to be an issue, and if I can get First Strike, so if I can get 6 and First Strike, I can even up the score at the end of turn 1. So I'll come back to you with the movement phase for the Astra Militarum. Movement phase for the Astra Militarum. So the Lone Flamer guy, he advanced towards this Venom. The Chimera moving up towards this objective. The infantry squad here just shuffled around a bit to maintain coherency. My infantry squad here advanced an extra 2 inches to go after this objective. My company commander advancing in order to order them to go after the objective. The rest of my squads, the Chimera over here, moving up, hoping to do a flanking manoeuvre just to get in a position for some objectives. And the rest of the army pretty much remaining stationary, as you might expect, to fire into the enemy army. So at the start of this, I'm going to do, with my movement done, at the start of my psychic phase, I'm going to cast Night Shroud on my company commander, giving him -1 to hit. So I need a 6 to cast this, and I do. So that can't be blocked because Yukarn's too far away. So the company commander will be at -1 to hit, which should help a bit with the firepower from the Talos, I'm hoping. And come back to it with my shooting phase and my orders for my squads. In the shooting phase, the company commander is going to order the missile launcher team here to fire on my target, which is reroll 1s to hit, but because they haven't moved in Arcadian, it's going to be full rerolls. On a 4+, I get to issue the order to another unit based on my Warlord trait, which I don't, but I am going to order the command squad, I think, to also fire on my target, giving them rerolls to hit. So hopefully they can either target the Venoms or the Talus. The commander over here, just here, is going to order this squad to move to get into the range of the objective. Talus can't heroically intervene, can they? That's fine. And he's going to order rerolls to hit on the alt cannon team because they didn't move. My tank commander is going to order himself and the other Layman Russ the special Cadian tank order, pound them to dust, which means I get to reroll the number of shots from my battle cannon each time I fire it. So that's the orders. We'll start off, do the move order for my squad here to get up on this objective, and we will make sure that I'm in range of all the objectives I need, and I can do the start my shooting phase. Start my shooting phase, I'm also going to spend 2 CP on Aerial Spotter on one of the Chimeras, giving them rerolls to hit. Wyvern. Giving them rerolls to hit. So I'm getting a lot of rerolls in the army to start with, because I didn't move and because of my orders. So we'll decide who is going to open fire. As you can see, I've moved this unit up here. This is objective secured, so they're going to grab this objective from the Talos to score me a point. I'm in range of objective 5, so I'm getting 3 points. If I can score first strike, I'm going to get 4 points in total to even it up with Doug and hopefully do a bit of damage to the army before they get to me. So for the shooting phase, let's start with over here. We'll start, I'm going to flamer the Venom with the guy that advanced, getting 2 shots. Your toughness 5 or 6? 5, so winning on 5s, nothing. We'll do the multi-laser from the Chimera into this Venom as well.
-2. So -1 from the Venom.
Yep, -1 from moving. I mean, it's opportunistic anyway. It does get 1 hit. Oh, excuse me, that went off the table. 1 hit, 1 wound. -1, I believe, from multi-laser. We'll double check.
Oh, 5 up anyway.
No, takes 1. Heavy bolter.
6 up on a pain.
No, heavy bolter does no hits. And the lasgun array we will roll and come back to you and see if that can do any damage. Shooting phase, the Chimera and Flamer fired at this squad here, doing a couple of wounds. I totally forgot about overlapping fields of fire. So the Punisher fired in at this and managed to take it down to 2 wounds remaining, but wasn't able to finish it off. The hitting on 5s is really hurting them here. I overcharged my plasma guns into this Venom here. Managed to hit with both and wound with both with a CP reroll, taking me down to 6. And doing 2 wounds in total. So now I am going to play 1 more CP for overlapping fields of fire. I'm burning through these just now. To take me the +1 to hit on this one here. And the missile launchers are now going to fire in the remaining Venom. Hitting on 4s with rerolls because of the order. So hitting on 4s. Eesh, just as well. Rerolling thanks to my order. That's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. That's only 1 wound. That's unfortunate.
5.
No, and it does, please be big, 2 wounds. That's not what I wanted.
2 wounds.
But does take 2 wounds, taking it down to 2 remaining. I should say the squad here also fired. As you can tell, I've not played the guard in a while. I fired this squad at this Venom before playing over Fields of Fire because I completely forgot about it. So I do need to take one of these out for first strike. I think I'm probably going to have to put a lot more firepower into this in order to finish it off. So I'll come back with my remaining shots and what I can achieve with this. Shooting phase finished for the Astra Militarum, and ideally I'd like to see more things dead. So I did manage to finish off one of the Venoms, one of the squad, and with the Wyvern that had the rerolls to hit thanks to the Aero Spotter. Killed one of the squad inside. The second one fired at this squad, this Venom, but because I was hitting on 5s, didn't really do enough damage, did no wounds. Fired the autocannons, decided if I could take the last wound of this, fired the autocannons, again, didn't do any damage, unfortunately, even with my rerolls. I think I rolled 3 4s to hit, which I couldn't reroll, annoyingly. Heavy bolter from this infantry squad, fired in at them, and didn't do any damage. With that, all that was left was my tank commanders. My tank commander, my Lehman Russ, fired in at the unit of Talos. Battle cannons doing well this round, both getting 11 shots, but the 4-up invuln saves of the Talos helped. I did manage to kill one and put a couple of wounds on another, but unfortunately one of my las cannons hit and wounded but only did 2 damage. It would have been nice to finish one off, and the other one hit and wounded but was saved by the 4-up invuln. So 1 Talos down, 1 Venom down. I do get first strike, but I'd really have liked to see a lot more killed, in all honesty, on my turn. But I am going to score Secure Objective 6, I'm going to get 2 points for Secure Objective 5, and I'm going to get first strike, taking it to 4 points all, going into the Drukhari turn 2. Another good round of cards for Doug. Secure Objective 4, Defend Objective 4, which the Karn is sitting on right back here. She'll definitely get Secure if he decides not to move her up. And you'll probably get Defend as well, because I don't have anything to take. And take them alive, kill a unit in the fight phase, or kill an enemy character for D3, which you'll most definitely get if the Talos make it into combat. So again, really nice draw cards. And my firepower is only going to get more diminished from here on, so I'm hoping I'll be able to do some damage. Maybe not focus on the venom so much in my turn if anything's left alive. And we'll come back to you with the movement for the Drukhari on turn 2. So the Venoms have moved over here along with the Archon. The squad that was in the destroyed Venom mounted up in the Archon's vacated one now. And they're moving around this Chimera, hoping to do some damage to it. Archon moving up at this poor lone guardsman. I guess if you need to, you can charge in there and get your take them alive point. Talos spread out over here. Due to the positioning of my infantry squad, I made it so that he couldn't really move some of the units forward and get round me. So the lone Talos moving up on this Chimera, and the other one's just moving up to what's likely to be a very dead infantry squad. And the Yukon staying back, Yukon staying back on this objective. Sorry, I'm just causing carnage with the rocks, knocking them over. We'll come back to and see what the shooting can do. I'll just leave this guardsman lying down because he's most likely dead in the coming turn. But we will see what the shooting phase, now that some of the haywire is in range, can that do some damage to my many tanks, who are the only things that really seem capable of taking on the Talos at this point.
So 2d3 haywire shots.
Yeah, start the shooting phase. This Talos is firing into the Chimera, getting
2 hits.
2 hits, and 4s do mortal wounds. No, nothing. So 4s do mortal wounds, 6s do, is it D3 or is it flat 3?
D3.
D3. So the next unit are going to fire at the same target.
Yep.
Getting
2, 4, 6.
7 shots.
8 shots.
8 shots, sorry. That's 3. That's a good number of hits.
Only that was the mortal wounds.
Yes, well, gladly not. So that's, I think, 5 hits. And that is, yeah, just as well. So that's 3d3 mortal wounds plus 1.
So that's, yeah, so that one doesn't wound, but that is a mortal wound.
Yep.
These 3 wound at -1.
Additional wounds as well, yep.
And
so
there's 2d3 mortal wounds.
Oh, it's only 6s or 2d3. So that is 6, 7, 8 so far.
Mortal wounds.
And how many wounds?
3 wounds.
8 mortal wounds, 3 wounds at -1.
Yes.
So 4 ups. That's 10. I think that's enough to pop it. I believe they only have 10 wounds. We'll double check. Let's see if it explodes. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't explode, but there's no one in range. And we'll see how many of the 10 guys inside are killed. And I'll get them deployed. End of the shooting phase. 3 of this squad did perish when the Chimera was destroyed from the 2 Talos. The other Talos fired in at my Punisher here, taking, I believe, 4 wounds from it. I think. Then here, the Venoms opened fire. The Blasters went into the Russ, and the Splinter Rifles went into this infantry squad, and as you can see, a now gone missile launcher team. Managed to do 1 of the Blasters hit and wounded, doing a 1 for damage, which Doug CP rerolled and got another 1. I did get the CP back though, so I'm up to 6. The other blaster didn't do any damage, but the Phantasm grenade launcher, he used a stratagem to do 2 mortal wounds, so this is bracketed, it's now down to 7 wounds. No fire into the Chimera, but this squad here did suffer, losing 5 of the number to the Splinter Rifle. So, pretty decent round of firepower, thanks to the haywire. So I need to try and take out some of these Talos, because that's going to cause me real problems if he gets into range of my tank commanders, so hopefully they can have a good round. Do we have any charges?
We absolutely do.
No, no charges. We'll move on to guard turn 2.
Okay, so that is going to be a 9-inch charge.
Okay, we'll double check that, but yeah, we'll do some...
I reckon.
Yeah, it's a 9.
Yeah.
So 9 is to get. We can do the Overwatch off camera. So this Talos squad hoping to go into the infantry squad here.
I'm going to double charge both of these infantry squads, so I get into one of them no matter what.
That makes sense.
It's turn 2, so my power from pain gives me rerolls to charge.
Nice. Nope, that's a 5, and that's an 8. That is just a fail, and you can't reroll that because you can't reroll a reroll.
And then the other Talos squad are just going to.
Okay, so we'll do the Overwatch from that, but he gets in. Yeah, 8's more than enough to get in.
And that one.
Gets another 8.
Gets another 8. So that's all the Talos going in there. Anything over here?
The Venoms, so I'm going to start charging with this Venom. This on full health. It's going to multi-charge both guys.
Okay. Yep, he's in.
The other Venom, both of the other Venoms going to charge Chimera. So the furthest one is in, and then the closest one to me is also in.
Yep, your Archon doing anything?
He's going to charge the little flamery dude.
Yep.
So
he's in as well. So that's a lot of successful charges, which is quite nicely. If he can take out all 3 units, then he gets some bonus points, but he might struggle to take out the Chimera. I'll do my Overwatch fire, and we'll let you know if any wounds have been causing, but otherwise it's some trouble for the Guardsmen here on turn 2 for the Drukhari. Absolutely nothing with the Overwatch. Despite getting about 23 lasgun shots on the Talos, I got 1 hit, which failed to wound. The heavy bolters did manage to get a wound through, but was saved. But I think we can safely say goodbye to this infantry squad. Probably this lone guy here, whose Overwatch I forgot to do, and we'll do now. But I doubt I'll destroy a
6-wound Venom.
6-wound Venom, unless I get incredibly lucky. It's not going to happen. But the Chimera should survive. I don't think he's got the combat ability to take this out, or the strength. So we'll come back and see probably a good deal shorter on the infantry squads, and I can do my morale tests and see what Doug can score in this turn. End of the fight phase. Rather predictably, this infantry squad did succumb to the Talos. The Lone Guardsman was killed by the Archon, whereas the Venoms actually managed to do a couple of wounds against the Chimera, taking it down to 5. So in the morale phase, I lost 5 from this squad. He's dead. He's fleeing. That's 4. 3 from this squad. That's another 2 fleeing. So we'll take those 2. And that's it. No more morale required. No morale required for the Drukhari, because I didn't actually do any damage in this phase. 2 attacks back from the Chimera, didn't do any damage. At the end of Doug's turn, he will score take them alive for 1 point and secure objective 4 for 1 point, taking them up to 6 at the moment. He's probably going to get defend 4 in his following turn, but he hasn't scored it yet. So we will see what I can draw and what I can do in reply, but things aren't looking good. Unless my tanks can start to do some damage to these Talos, they are going to be in trouble in my turn. So we'll see what damage I can do around here. Venoms, I won't be able to fall back from the Chimera, but the squad inside can get out and maybe do some work. So we will see what can happen here. And I will not be able to fall that back though, but it does mean he won't be able to charge me in his turn to tie up something else in combat. So we'll come back to you with the objectives drawn for the Astra Militarum on turn 2. So my turn, again, not a great hand. Defend objective 6, secure objective 3, and regimental pride. Kill an enemy character with one of my characters, which is unlikely to occur. 6 is over here, so defending from these Talos is going to be difficult. I do currently control 3, and the odds are, well, I can't actually get to a character, never mind kill one with one of mine. So I think what I'm going to do...
Charge the Archon?
With no characters.
Oh, yeah.
It's with a character. So I think what I'll do is discard those 2 and draw defend objective 4, which will be pretty much impossible. I can't actually physically get back here, so this isn't going to be a good round for me. I'm going to score 1 point at most. Going to have to just hope I can do significant damage with my squads to cause some problems. Movement phase done. I moved this command squad up a bit to get in rapid fire range of the Talos there with the commander. The squad that was over here advanced 6 inches, giving them a nice 12. Because of the comm link, I will be able to order them to move and go another 12 to potentially get this objective, assuming I can kill off all the Talos, which is going to be, I think, a bit risky. In my movement phase, I decided not to jury rig this because going up a wound, I'm still bracketed, so it doesn't really matter. I'd rather save the CP. We'll go straight into the psychic phase. I'm again going to cast Night Shroud on my tank commander, hoping to keep him safe from the haywire of the Talos. They'll be hitting on 5s, which I failed to cast, and it's not worth a reroll, so that's unfortunate. Orders, we'll start off going straight into the shooting phase. The commander is going to order this squad to fire on my target, so reroll on 1s to wound. If I get a 4+, I can order it to another unit. Yes, so I will order it to this infantry squad here. He's then going to make use of the comm link and order this squad to move, another 12. And the commander here is going to order this unit to reroll to hit as well for Cadian autocan as they target the Talos. Tank commander is going to use the pound them to dust order again on both tanks to hopefully cause some firepower. And I'm going to once more use 2 CP on aerial spotter on one of the wyverns. Probably be only targeting the Talos because everything else is locked in combat. But does Doug get those back? He gets 1 back. So that's good. He did roll a double 6, but thanks to the new rules, he only gets 1 back. So you're down to how many?
6.
6 remaining, and I'm down to 4 at the moment. Hopefully getting overlapping fields of fire when I use it again. So we will do, actually, rerolls to hits, probably not.
Rerolls to wound on the autocannon would be quite nice.
Rerolls to wound would be good, or first rank fire, second rank fire on the las guns, go for volume of shots, but probably not going to do much. So we'll come back to you with the shooting phase for the squad here on turn 2. We will start off with this veteran squad taking fire at the unit of 2 Talos, closest to here. So I am going to overcharge to cause 2 damage. First one hitting on 3s, reroll on 1s. That's good. 1 hit. And the second guy, both hit, which is good. Wounding on 3s.
One of those missed, right?
Oh, sorry, apologies, 1 miss. So wounding on 3s. That's 2 wounds. 1 of which goes through. And 2, so 2 wounds taken. I am going to spend another CP then on overlapping fields of fire to give me +1 to hit against this unit, which will hopefully cause some damage. Let's do the las guns from the squad while we're at it. Don't have much hope of these, but 2 hits, 4 hits in total. Wounding on 6s. That is 1 wound actually on the Talos. Goes through. Oh, and it's saved. That's unfortunate. That is most unfortunate, but okay. So one of them's down to 5 wounds, but they are +1 to hit now, which I think will come in useful. So let's do the rest of the firepower, and I need to remember to do my move on this squad. We'll do the rest of my firepower. Might come back to you with the tank commander to see how he does, and we'll see. Hopefully I can cause a fair bit of damage in this turn. Shooting will continue. The tank commander is going to use the overlapping fields of fire benefits to put his shots into the wounded Talos unit. So I'll start off with the battle cannon. I'll reroll the 1 thanks to the pound them to dust order to get 6 shots. Could have used the 11 from last turn, but I am hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s because I'm Cadian. I didn't move.
2s. Doesn't he have
Overlapping fields of fire.
Oh yeah, of course.
I get +1 to hit. So that is all hit. 3s to wound. Oh, 4 wounds. Could have gone better, but 4 wounds on the tank commander. He saves 3 of them. Does D3 damage for 1 again. And it's saved with a 6-up feel no pain. Oh, if the shooting phase continues like this is going to go badly. Las cannon hits because of the +1. Wounds on a 3. That's a wound. And it's saved. Oh, this is going to be horrendous. If I can't even kill 1 Talos unit. I think even killing 1's not going to be enough. I was hoping to take out 2 at the very least. So the heavy bolters, re-rolling because of Cadian, all hit. That is 1 wound only. She gets through. Yep, so unfortunately, all that firepower from the tank commander did a single wound, which is most unfortunate. So I'm going to have to add the rest of my firepower to this and hopefully do some damage. Okay, shooting phase picked up a little. Basically all the firepower went into Talos. I completely forgot to fire the Punisher on the one that was +1 to hit. I think this unit was finished off from the autocannons. The other Layman Rust did quite well, killing one of them. And I think the Wyverns both fired at this target, managing to take him down.
The first Wyvern was the one that killed that.
Oh yeah, first Wyvern finished off 1 unit Talos. Second fired into here, doing a fair bit of damage, which was nice. Punisher fired in, managing to take it down to 2 wounds. I would have liked to kill it, but then, as Doug reminded me, the Yukarn could have come in and done some damage there. So at the moment, I have no more firepower. Everything's fired. I was able to kill 1 unit Talos off, take 1 down to 2 wounds, but I still have a full unit here. No Night Shroud. We'll quickly do the combat here. So D3 hit, 3 hits, 3 attacks, no hits with the Chimera. Archon. Yep.
5s.
No, it does 3 wounds at -3. So 6s.
D3 damage.
Oh, okay, this is going to hurt.
5.
5, so it's gone. Does it blow up? No. I thought that was academic, but that is going to cause problems for me because the unit inside should have got out, but we'll come back with that then. I wasn't expecting that to happen. I forgot he was. No, I don't think any of us were, which is annoying because he'll now be able to. The plan was to keep this trapped up with a Chimera, so he could fall back and shoot, but he couldn't assault. With the Chimera now gone, Doug can now move up and assault any of my vehicles or squads. So this is potentially going to be a decisive turn for the Drukhari. The end of my turn, I did lose 4 of the squad to the destroyed vehicle. These 2 Chimeras have been death traps. Out of the 20 rolls, I've rolled 7 ones. They've been absolute death traps. So at the end of my turn, I will score secure objective 3. I won't get defend objective 4 this turn. Unfortunately, I don't think I get the double bonus because it has to be scored in my turn. So even if I score it, it's going to not count for double, assuming I can take it, which is a risk. And with that, Doug also scores defend objective 4, taking it up to 8 points to the Drukhari, to 5 points for the Astra Militarum. In his third turn, Doug draws Overwhelming Firepower, Master of the Warp and Domination. Can probably get overwhelming with these.
I think I'm going to discard these 2, however.
Okay, he could get Master of the Warp. Domination was going to be difficult, and he's drawn behind enemy lines, which he will get double points on if he scores, which is entirely possible. 1 unit completely within, if he can get 3 units completely in my deployment zone, which is entirely feasible with just these Venoms here. That will give him
D3.
2d3, or d3 times 2, whatever we decide to do. And if the Yukarn can move up and get Master of the Warp, this is going to really push him into the lead, which is going to make it very difficult, if not impossible, for me to come back. So we'll see what happens and what's left with the Drukhari shooting phase and movement phase. Little correction there. At the end of my turn, I was holding on to defend objective 6, not 4. I ditched 4 in order to get 6, so if I can hold on to this, I will get another 2 points to bring it back in and close Doug's lead on the army. Movement phase for the Drukhari on turn 3. Ykarn moving up towards my squad here. The Venoms and Archon moving up on this side to take on the Punisher, and the Talos moving up on these poor unfortunate squads here. We'll see what they can do. Psychic phase for the Drukhari, which is a weird thing to say, but the Karn Psychic is now in range for powers, so even if she casts a Smite, she will get Master the Warp.
So I've got 2, I'm going to basically, hopefully, mortal wound that squad to death.
Yep.
So I'm going to start off with a Smite.
Which passes on a 6, and does 2 mortal wounds, so killing off 2 of this squad.
Then I'm going to cast one from the new law, which is Gaze of Enid.
Yep.
Which casts on a 6.
What's the range of that?
18.
Yeah, it should still be in range.
Select a visible enemy unit. Well, let's see if I cast it first.
No, that's a Perils. Do you want a CP reroll?
No. I'll just take the mortal wounds.
And he takes 2 mortal wounds. So 2 of the squad are now dead, and takes 2 mortal wounds on the Karn, which I think is the only damage she's going to see this battle. I think. Because I won't be able to target. No, can I target her? Is she 10 wounds or more?
No, she's 9 wounds.
No, so I can't target her anyway, and the odds of me killing off everything else in the army to target her are going to be slim at this stage. But we'll see what my many tanks can do to this Talos next turn, and hopefully have a good round. The Venoms open fire on a lot of targets, so the Splinter Fire managing to kill off the command squad here, and the squad of infantry that were here. Only one of the blasters hit, but managed to do a great 4 wound, taking this down to 1 wound remaining. Doug's just going to use the stratagem to do mortal wounds from the Phantasm Grenade Launcher, which we both rolled and got back, which was nice, taking me up to 4, so let's see if he hits on a 2. No, he misses for the second time, re-rolling 1s. He hits and D3 mortal wounds, he's on 1, he's dead. Does he blow up? He does not, but my Punisher is now out of action, which is unfortunate for me. 3 tanks down, 4 left to go. The rest of the shooting phase, the Talos, what are they going to go after?
They will go after the tank commander.
Annoyingly, I probably should that CP for Night Shroud. I probably should have used it, but odds of passing were slim.
I'm just going to roll all of them together because they're still unlikely to kill it, if that's okay.
Yep, that's fine.
So number of shots.
Oh, that's pretty. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 shots in total, so this could be a bit of a problem. I really need the tank commander alive to have any hope of doing damage to the Talos, and even if he's degraded, this is going to be tricky. So hitting on 4s. Could have been better. It's about average. Number of hits. It's quite hard to see on this board with these dice sometimes. That is, that's 3d3 mortal wounds.
Yep.
And so that plus another mortal wound.
Yep. But not an actual wound. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mortal wounds.
7 mortal wounds.
3 minus 1.
And 3 saves at -1. This is going to be a problem. Considering I failed 2, so that's 9 wounds in total, taking him down to 3 remaining, which is not good. That puts him in his lowest profile. That's exactly what I needed not to happen. Those haywire are particularly nasty. So that's the end of the shooting phase. We're going to move on to assaults now. I'm assuming there's none. I'm hoping there's none, but I think that's a hope that will not be come through.
Okay, so I don't think I'd need like a 9-inch charge to get into the autocannon teams. Joys of fly back in the
Yeah, in the new FAQ. Plus, I think I get allowed to allow rerolls now. I get rerolls of 1 with Cady in my shooting phase, and orders don't apply though because they're only to the end of that phase. So, but I do get to reroll 1s apparently from Overwatch.
I am not going to charge the autocannon teams because I don't think I can do it. I'm going to charge.
You sure you don't want to declare them anyway, just so I can Overwatch you?
Oddly not. No.
Okay.
I think I will just charge the commander plus that with
Oh, the commander's here, sorry. That's the commander, that's the sergeant from the squad.
Oh, okay. So
I moved the commander back so he wouldn't be charged in my movement phase. So that's just the one squad at the front.
So I'm going to charge with the full squad first.
You don't want to do it with the ones on 2 wins so I can kill them?
Go on then.
Maybe?
Go on.
Nah. Right, we'll do the Overwatch off camera because odds are I'm not going to do anything, but we will. You can pretty much guarantee to charge.
And
I don't think you can fail it.
With an 8 on Urian as well.
Okay, let's see if the first squad of Talos make it in. They do on an 8. The second squad, they do, and as Uriel, he does not on a 3.
A free reroll.
Oh, he gets it, yeah, of course. Nope, still not enough to make it in on a 5. So we'll do the Overwatch, let you know if anything happens, and come back to you with the combat for these. Overwatch doing no harm. I did manage to hit twice with the heavy bolters and wound, but it was saved. And now, just for the sake of it, we'll do the attacks. I think it'd be as well removing this squad, but this is the first half of attacks. Hitting on 2s. Yeah, these purple dice can be hard to see here, but yeah, that's a good number of hits.
Wounding on 2s.
Wounding
with
on 2s.
rerolls.
Nice, so that's how many? For 14?
You think
To
so?
start with, so this minus.
Nothing.
So 14 wounds to start with. And I take 2, 4, 6, 8. That's enough to finish the squad anyway, so we don't even need to do the second batch. That's the squad gone, unfortunately. And we'll see if he can consolidate into my autocan squad.
I'm not going to.
He's not going to. Okay, that makes things easier.
Because I'm not in range, and I'd lose my toughness 7, so the autocannons would really hurt.
Yes, that is true. That is true if he consolidated. So, at the end of that phase, I will score Defend Objective 6 to give me 2 points. And Doug does score Master the Warp, and I think he will score 3. He should score, he's got enough units for 3 units for behind enemy lines. So this is D3. 2 points times 2. So that gives him 5 points, taking him up to 13 points to 7 for the Drukhari going into my turn 3. So I need to get 6 points this turn to have any hope of coming back, which I think is going to be difficult. We'll come back to the cards drawn. Oh, sorry, morale phase. Well, remember, I can't lose this whole squad, so I'm still going to score this objective. But I did lose 2, 7. That's a pass because I don't have any minuses, and the sergeant's a 7. So I believe, pretty sure that's the one less than Space Marines. So that's a leadership 7, so that passes, and we'll come back to the cards drawn for me on turn 3. My turn 3, I drew no prisoners, so kill a unit, secure objective 1, and mission critical, I rolled objective 2. Objective 1's over here, with none of my units near it, as is objective 2. Which is over here with none of my units near it. If perhaps I still had a comm link left, I could order this unit to advance and possibly get objective 2, but I don't think that's an option. So what I'm going to do is discard both of these because of the mission, and I'm going to redraw defend objective 5, which is over here, which again I cannot score double for because I can't score it by the end of my turn, which is most unfortunate. We'll come back to you then with my movement phase for this round. Movement phase, this infantry squad moving up to hopefully target Uriel and maybe do some damage there. The Psyker moving round, so if you can get a smite off, hopefully killing this Talos off. The company commander advancing to get out of range of these Venoms, which are probably going to take on the Wyverns next turn. And the rest of the firepower staying stationary in order to get maximum effect. So, in my turn, for the orders, psychic phase, we're going to start the psychic phase with a smite on my Primaris Psyker.
This is where you need a 12.
Yes. Well, he's only in 2 wins. So, I pass it with a 7, and I do D3 mortal wounds. For 1, let's CP reroll that because I want to try and kill him. And that is a 3. I've rolled that too, but he does get his feel no pains, which fails, so that is a dead... he doesn't explode, and that is a dead Talos, so that is a good start to my phase. What I'm going to do before we move on is check on jury rigging. This guy, I don't think it's worth it, because I think he's already on the middle bracket, so I will probably save the 3 CP to give myself aerial spotter and overlapping fields of fire on this squad to hopefully kill off the Talos. I think first of all though, I am going to fire into Uriel. If I get lucky and kill him off, these go back down to toughness 6, which makes things a bit easier for me. Although not really, oh no, just with autocans. So we'll check on the jury rigging and on my degrading stat line, and then come back with the firepower on Uriel. So just checking the rule book here, his lowest profile is 1 to 3, so I am going to spend a CP on jury rigging to take him up to 4 points and put him in the next bracket where he is hitting on 4s, which should hopefully help me out against the remaining Talos pain engines if I can get off. So that takes me down to 2 CP, so I'm probably not going to use it on aerial spotter and just save it for overlapping fields of fire when I hopefully do a wound on these, and we'll come back to you with my rest of my shooting. Tank orders, pound them to dust on both my Russes. I'm going to re-roll this autocan team to re-roll failed hits with the fire on my target for Cadia. Flamer managed to do a single wound on Uriel, missed with the crack grenade, missed with the las gun. So we will continue with the firing from the autocannons into the Talos, hoping to do a single wound and use overlapping fields of fire to help my tank commander and the wyverns to take these guys out. So 6 autocan shots, plus the las guns, which I always forget to fire, but we'll try it anyway. So hitting on 4s with full rerolls thanks to the order. Yep, 4 rerolls. That is most helpful, so that's 5 hits. Wounding on 4s. That's 1 wound. Oh, that could have gone better. Goes through though. 2 damage. Nope, so 1 takes 2 wounds, and that allows me to pop overlapping fields of fire, which is a single CP or double CP?
I do not know.
I'll double check. I could have been using that wrong the whole game. Let's double check. But I'm going to use it anyway. I have 2 CP left. Let's see. So, apologies to Doug, it is 2 CP, which I think there's no point. I mean, I shouldn't have enough command points left, but rather than going back and figuring out how many I have, he's very kindly going to let me to spend my last 2 CP to give them overlapping fields of fire. I keep thinking that's 1, but it's incredibly good for 1. So we have 1 Talos down 2 wounds, and another 2 at full strength, so I think basically the rest of the tank firepower is going to come in at these guys. Hopefully when we come back to it, there'll be no Talos remaining.
There might be an Incarn in that spot though.
There could be an Incarn. If I do wipe them out, Incarn's going to come in. So, you know, good news, bad news situation. We will see. As you can see, Talos are now dead, taken out by the firepower of the 2 Layman Russes and 1 of the Wyverns. Unfortunately bringing in the Yukarn to this position, but I do score no prisoners, which is nice. Now the final Wyvern could target one of the Venoms, but really not going to do much at the -1. I think I'm going to struggle to kill one of them, so I'm going to put my firepower into Yukarn. So the Storm Shard gets 10, 13. As I say, I've been rolling 12 and 13 with these Wyverns consistently the whole game, so they've been doing good. Whereas the Lemon Russes, I did use my rerolls, but I was only getting like 5 or 6 shots each, but doing okay thanks to overlapping fields of fire and the rerolls of 1s. So we'll see if I can do any wounds and how my turn ends. Shooting phase, I did manage to do 2 wounds on the Yarn with my Storm Shard. Heavy bolter fired at the Venom, and surprisingly, actually managed to take it out, hitting on 5s and wounding on 4s. So none of the squad inside died, because only the guard vehicles are death traps in this game. But the Yarn can now, unfortunately, heroically intervene into my infantry squad, which you will be able to do and get to fight, which is a bit of a pain that you can do from bringing her in, but there's nothing I can do to stop that. I think killing the Talos was the way to go.
I'm still worried about those Lumen Russ.
Yeah, even though they're wounded, but unfortunately I'm out of CP for overlapping, so they might cause a bit of problems, but you are ahead in the points at the moment. So are we going to intervene?
Absolutely.
Yep, so Yarn goes in, she'll get to fight first, or does that count as charging?
She gets to fight first from Soul Burst.
Oh, of course, from Soul Burst, yeah, she gets to do that anyway. So, do you want to just roll up her attacks now? And
yeah, I believe it's 6.
imagine they'll be dead, very much so. So 6 attacks from Yarn, hitting on 2s. 4 hits, still enough.
She is strength 6.
So 2s to wounds.
With rerolls.
That's 4 wounds. Any AP?
6 damage. Minus 4 AP, so...
So dead. So first
Unless
one...
I roll some 1s, yeah.
Dead. Takes 1 dead, and second one dead. So that's all 3 units been wiped out, unfortunately. So with that is the end of my phase. I'm not going to charge in with these guys because Uriel's a bit too tough for them to take out. I do get no prisoners. I did kill off a unit. I'm going to ditch defend 5 because I'm nowhere near it. And with that, at the end of turn 3, it's 13 points to the Drukhari, to 8 points for...
You killed 3, so you get D3 for no prisoners.
Did I kill 3 units?
You killed a Venom and 2 units of Talos.
Oh, I did kill 2 units of Talos. You're right, thanks for reminding me that. So I will get D3 because I forgot about the smite, killing 1, unfortunately killing off Venom, so that will be D3 points for 3. So that instead takes me to 10 points, so 13 points to 10, I'm still in it. I've got a good few tanks left, but we'll need to see what objectives are drawn. So this could end up being a close game. So at the end of guard turn 3, it is 13 points to the Drukhari and 10 points to the Astra Militarum. We'll see what Doug can do with his 4th turn. On his 4th turn, Doug drew Psychological Warfare, Power Orders received, Secure Objective 6 and Blood and Guts. His Warlord is here, Objective 6 is all the way over there, so he's not getting that. Psychological Warfare, the only unit left are these 3 infantry squad, and he has to kill 2 of them and keep 1 alive, and even then I'm going to pass it on a 5 or less. So that's going to be unlikely. Blood and Guts he's hoping to get by killing something. So what he's going to do is discard those 2 and redraw Secure 3, which will be worth double points, which is over here with none of my units near it. So that's going to be a nice easy one for him, moving up one of his Venoms. So we'll see what movement Doug decides to do on his 4th turn, but things are looking good. He's probably going to get Blood and Guts. He might even get Slay the Warlord this turn. And he's probably definitely going to get 2 points for securing Objective 3 thanks to his gamble. Movement phase, Uriel goes after the squad of infantry that had the audacity to hit them with his flamer. You can't able to jump in here, unfortunately. Probably going to charge both these Russes to put them out of action next turn. One of the Venoms securing an objective, the other probably going in as Wyvern to do the same. This squad here moving up. So at the moment, things are still clustered around my deployment zone. So odds are good set of points for Doug this turn. And unless I get incredibly lucky with, well, I don't even think there's any objectives I can draw that I will be scoring. So we'll see what survives and what I can get on with in my turn. So we will start with the psychic phase.
So Smite and Gaze of Aeneid on the tank commander.
Okay, so Smite to start with. Goes off, I may as well attempt to block this.
Indeed.
On a 9, I block it.
Okay, and the gaze.
Fails to cast, I believe.
I think it was a 6.
Yeah, I think it was a 6. We'll double check that, but it looks as, yeah, looks like a pretty ineffective psychic phase for the Yukarn this turn.
It's a 6.
It's a 6, so that's a failed to cast. We'll move on to the shooting phase. Uriel fired his relic into this squad, getting 7 shots and doing 2 wounds and killing 2, so leaving the flamer alive, so if he charges in. Next shots with the venoms, I'm guessing.
So we'll just do the squads first. So I'll shoot all the splinters together because it's not going to do anything.
Yep.
The 3 blasters, which is the important ones.
Into the wyvern.
Yep.
Okay.
Blue one is the one next to the Archon.
Yep, so all the blasters firing, getting 2 hits.
3s.
And 1 wound. And doing 6, a nice 6 damage to the first one. So that's going to help. And then the splinters from the venoms and the squads inside are going to fire in as well. We'll see if they can do any damage. Turns out, splinter fire pretty effective. Managed to take 9 wounds in total between the blasters and the splinter rifles doing another 3. Doug then used his phantasm grenade, which I forgot to roll to see if I get the CP back.
Oh yeah, me too.
Which I do not. And he does not, which is unfortunate because then I rolled a 6 for it to explode. Meaning D3 mortal wounds. So this first venom takes 3 mortal wounds. This second venom takes 2 mortal wounds. So the first one takes 3, second one takes 1. My company commander takes 2 mortal wounds, and my tank commander takes 2 mortal wounds to take him down to 2 remaining. And the Yukarn.
Final wyvern.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the final wyvern takes. He's definitely in range. He takes 2 as well. And the Yukarn. Big 3 here, hopefully. No, he takes 2. And she does. She takes 2. So that is a pretty devastating explosion. All around there, causing a fair bit of damage. Unfortunately, I have no CP left. It might have been worth had I got it back. But so this one's sorry. This one is down to
that
2.
Lost 1. So it was.
No, this one lost 1. This one lost 3. So that's down to 2 remaining. And this other venom is down to 1. So, a bit of damage there. More than it's done in the shooting phase from blowing up. At least against the venoms, did pretty well.
He took 1, right?
He took 1, and
Yes.
you.
So he hadn't taken any yet.
No, he hadn't taken any. So he's down to 5, and he's down to 2. So, unfortunately, though, that leaves my commander out in the open.
But I've got no shooting left.
And there's no shooting, but there is charges left. And some fair damage, which could see my tank commander slain as well. So we'll come back to you. Unfortunately, it would be nice to have a CP left for defensive gunners, if I could get that, but it's not likely. We'll come back to the charge phase. I'm guessing the Karn is going in.
He's got 3 wounds left.
3 wounds left. This could be tricky, so we'll come back to you with what Doug decides to do with his charges. Charge phase, this Venom attempted to charge the company commander. I hit him with my pistol in Overwatch and wounded, but he made his save. But he rolled a 3, so failed to get in. He decided not to charge with the other Venom because he wants to hold this objective. The Karn deciding not to risk charging the tank and causing problems, instead charging the company commander, and then in his consolidation move, moving in to tag the other tank. So he does get to attack on the commander. And I assume you're charging here?
Yes.
Yeah, so Yurio's going to charge as well. My Overwatch, I do 3 hits. I need 5s to wound. 2 wounds though. He fails them both, and 2 6-ups. No, he takes another 2, so that flamer proving quite effective, taking them down to 2 wounds remaining. We'll see what we can. So we'll do the combat quickly, very quickly, I imagine.
Can't on the commander, can't hit the tank or hits.
Yep.
Very, 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 very dead.
I've got a refractor field. If I make all these 5s and 6s, he's fine. Not even close. So 4 go through.
4d6.
Yeah, 4d6. He's dead. I think he's only got 4 wounds, but doesn't matter. Whatever it is, just roll 4 dice so we can be sure. Yeah, he's dead. He doesn't have 26 wounds. So tags into the tank. The tank will do his attacks back. Getting 3 attacks back, hitting on 6s, nothing. So Yukari's alive and he's tagged the tank, which is what you wanted to do. At the end of, oh no, Uriel, sorry, we'll do this combat here, which I imagine will be over very quickly. Yeah, as expected, dead infantryman there, although he did, his flamer did take 3 wounds off Uriel. So, things not looking great for the Astra Militarum. This full strength tank cannot shoot. This turn, the company commander can, but he's down to ballistic skill 5. This wyvern's able to shoot, and my commander's doing some damage. So at the end of Doug's turn, he does score secure objective 3 for 2 points, and he does get blood and guts for another point, taking him up to 16 points to my 10. And really focusing in. I don't actually know what cards I can draw that would allow me to bring this back, because I don't really have anyone much in range. Just maybe if I get objective 5, maybe objective 3, but I'm going to struggle to get enough into that. So come back and see what I can draw for my 4th turn. So saying that, I think I drew the best run of cards I could actually draw in this turn. Overwhelming firepower, kill an enemy unit with my shooting. Overkill, kill an enemy unit with one of my tanks. And chain of command, issue 1 to issue orders. So I can probably get 3 orders if I order my company commander and my tank commander orders himself and his other unit. So I can probably get all 3 of these, so I think I'm going to hold on to them to give me a chance. If I can hopefully kill the Yukari and get Kingslayer as well, that will give me... Oh yeah, that's not your Warlord. That's not going to help at all. But killing these 3 will put it up to, I think it's, 16 points, I think, at the moment. To 10, so that will give me 16 to 13. So we'll see what I can do, what I decide to do with my movement phase. Movement phase, not a lot. The company commander's moving up here on the Venom with 2 runes remaining. The tank's falling back here but staying in range of the orders. I'm just going to move my Psycho back a bit so he doesn't get heroically intervened.
I think the tank will.
The tank probably will. If I don't kill him with my firepower, then yeah, odds are the game's over anyway. But hopefully I can kill him, get overwhelming firepower, maybe plasma pistol here as well. So with that, I'm going to do my psychic phase, in which I'm going to cast hopefully a smite to take out this Yukari. We'll see. So for smite, I roll a 5. So odds are this is going to get blocked anyway. We will see. Do you get any bonuses to the 9?
No.
And yeah, an 11, that's enough to block the smite, which is unfortunate. So with that, we'll move on to my shooting phase. I'm going to put my tank commander into orders. Sorry, orders. I'm going to order myself to reroll 1s to hit, so I can overcharge this plasma. I'm going to order both these guys to pound them to dust. Doesn't matter for him because he fell back, but it will matter for me. And it gets me D3 points for issuing 3 to 5 orders. Or no, sorry. Gets me 1 point for issuing 3 to 5 orders. I need to issue 6 orders to get D3, which is impossible with what I have left. So we'll start with the tank commander, firing into the Yukari. He's hitting on 5s, rerolling 1s because he didn't move. And he will be doing... battle cannon shots first. 11, I'll take that. No need for rerolls. We'll come back and see if I can do any damage there. So what Doug was looking up there was to see if he could give lightning fast reflexes to the Yukari, which turns out you can't because it's only infantry, vehicles or bikers.
It's not Drukhari.
Oh, and he's not Drukhari. Yukari's not Drukhari. So 11 shots from battle cannon. I'm hitting on 5s and rerolling 1s. Thanks to Cadian, and I didn't move. So that's really good to start with. Can't complain about that at all. Nope, so that is wounding on 3s, because you're toughness 6. Wounding on 3s. And that is 6 wounds, so you've got a 4-up invuln. Oh, and that's 5d3 wounds. So So this is all the fire.
Very dead in the car.
2, 4, 7. Only 7 with the battle cannons. I think you're probably still dead, but
4 6s.
no, that's a dead you can't, and the rest of the firepower was going into him anyway. So we're going to fire. We're going to overcharge my plasma pistol at this venom because it's got 2 wounds remaining, and if I can kill it, I can hopefully put my wyvern into the squad that's inside, or into the other venom. So overcharging plasma. That's a 1. Luckily I ordered myself. That's a hit, and that's failed to wound, so that's no damage at all. So we'll probably put the wyvern into the damaged one anyway, because I don't think this squad here is going to do much. My warlord's probably dead anyway, so let's just see if I can take down some of these vehicles and stop them from pinning me up in combat. We'll come back to you with see what damage I can do. Okay, so that was pretty successful. The wyvern actually managed to take it out. The venom needing the heavy bolter to do so. The storm shard did 1 wound. Heavy bolter did 1 wound. What I'm going to do now, I think, well, it doesn't really. I was going to charge that venom to stop it assaulting my wyvern, tying it up, but in all honesty, your infantry squad's probably going to be able to do that. But it might be able to jump behind and tie up my Lehman Russ, so I think I'm going to charge my company commander into your venom, just to stop it jumping behind and tying up my units over here.
If I remind you about my 2 CP stratagem to allow me to fall back and charge, do you still want to make the same decision?
No, it's not worth it then, because you've got enough CP left. I think we'll let you do that. No, let's do it anyway, because at least then I've got a chance I could get CP back.
Okay.
If you use it. So what we'll do is, this is where my hubris. 2 hits with Overwatch, they're not going to kill me, I don't think. 1 wound. I think he's got a 5 up armour, is it? Or 4 up armour. No, takes a wound. So I actually think I'm down to 1 wound, so maybe I'm dead soon. But can I make it in? Is the question. And I do. I mean, maybe he'll kill me with this, so I'll need to actually look that up, because surprisingly it's not often my company commander gets into combat. So I'll come back and see what he can do. Company commander gets 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s with a power sword. Nothing at all.
I get 2 attacks back, hitting on 4s.
No, both miss. So that's a stalemate, but it will force him to use CP if he wants to come after them. So at the end of my turn, no morale, I do score overwhelming firepower, I do score overkill, and I do score chain of command for 1 point. So that takes it at the end of turn 4 to 16 points for the Drukhari and 13 for the Astra Militarum. So at the moment, things still pretty tight over here. So we'll come back to you with the cards drawn for Doug on his 5th turn. Started Doug's 5th turn, he drew Defend Objective 1, Secure Objective 2, Secure Objective 5. 1's over here, quite far away from his squad. 2 he's going to struggle to get to, and 5 he could get to with Uriel. So he's going to ditch Defend 1, Secure 2, and draw Death by 1,000 Cuts for his bonus point, which is what?
Oh, I can't get that either.
What's that?
Get 1 model from different squads.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he might struggle at that. At least 1 model from 3 different enemy units. It's
not possible.
Tricky, but maybe doable. You could kill the company commander, the Primaris Psyker, and 1 of my vehicles. You could technically do it, but you're going to struggle, I reckon. So, oh no, you can't. Well, I don't think you'll be able to get Objective 5 and kill the Primaris. So, he's going to have to decide what he's going after this turn. And we will see what he decides to do with his movement phase. End of Doug's movement phase, he moved 1 Cable-Lite squad up my Warlord, the other moving up here. Uriel moved up in this objective, and as expected, he did spend 2 CP to allow this flyer to assault. He could already shoot because it's got the fly keyword, but it can assault. And I did regain 1 from this, so I can spend it on defensive gunners if he decides to assault me, which would be nice. But with that, there is no psychic phase left. we'll move into the shooting phase, which I guess is going to cause a lot of problems for my company commander and maybe even my psyker.
Well,
So we'll come back and see what damage Doug can do with his shooting phase. Squads here, opening fire on the Wyvern. One of the blasters hit and wounded, taking a nice 4 wounds from it. The other missed. The squad in the Venom also fired at the Wyvern, the blaster missing. So it's taking 7 wounds in total. And now the Venom is going to fire at the...
So, I think first off, I'm going to use the stratagem again on the Archon to put some mortal wounds on the tank commander.
Yep.
Because I need to kill that.
Yep, so he's going to use the Phantasm. He hits. He does 2 mortal wounds, that's enough to kill him. D6 explosion, oh sorry. Nope, he doesn't explode, so that is enough to kill off the tank commander, unfortunately.
The Venom will shoot then into
The Wyvern.
6 to wound, because poison does not like tanks. 1.
1 wound, and that goes through. So he's taking 10, sorry, he's taking 8 wounds, not 10. He's taking 8 wounds, which I'm wondering, is it worth using defensive gunners? Probably, because otherwise your Venom's going to run rampant anyway. But you didn't target the company commander with any firepower, so he's alive.
I'm going to charge him now.
Yes, and Uriel's shot was 1 use only, so he can't target the Psyker. So, if you kill off the commander and the Wyvern, you will get your bonus, death by 1,000 cuts, but it's going to be tough, I think. So, Overwatch, we'll do Overwatch and charges, and we'll come back and see who makes it in. So, the Venom making it in, but taking 2 wounds in Overwatch fire, and the squad also assaulted in to probably stop them from doing, or hopefully killing them out. Is anyone going to charge the...
They absolutely are.
Okay, so who's charging first? The squad?
Let's go with the Archon first.
The Archon first. Let's go with my plasma pistol. I may as well overcharge because do you know what? You're going to kill me anyway if you make it in.
He's got a reroll on the 4.
Oh, I'll do the... Oh, yeah, he's in. Overwatch? Nah, no, nothing. So the Archon makes it in and the squad probably makes it in as well.
Yes.
Yeah, they roll an 11, so that's going to be a tricky combat for this. If he does somehow manage to kill the Wyvern with his squads, that gives him his bonus 2 points for death by 1,000 cuts. So we will come back with the fight phase for the Drukhari.
2 attacks from the Venom.
First Venom going into the Wyvern, because this is the important one. No, that's 2 misses.
Oh dear. And then the guys, 4 guys with a sergeant for an extra attack. Hitting on 2s, reroll 1s.
Nope, 4 hits, wounding on 5s.
6s.
Sorry.
Reroll 1s.
2 wins, not enough to kill him, but
Oh dear.
they're both saved, so he is left alive on 3 wounds remaining. Now your Archon into the company commander. That is 5 hits.
3s.
That is 4 wounds. Come on, refractor field. Nope, he's dead. He had 1 wound remaining, so that is Warlord. At the end of that, attacks back from the Wyvern, gets D3, 2 attacks, no hits. So at the end of his turn, he will get Slay the Warlord and secure objective 5. Do you want to discard death by 1,000 cuts? I've only got 3 units remaining.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I should have done? I should have thrown a grenade. But I didn't.
Why?
Because
What have the grenades done?
for mortal wounds.
Oh, okay. Your Phantasm grenade launcher, that does work against vehicles?
Yeah.
That's fine, just double check. So he is going to discard death by 1,000 cuts. He will score secure objective 5 and slay the Warlord, taking them up to 18 points to my 13. So hoping for another good round of cards for the Astra Militarum, although I've only got a couple of units left that can actually do anything. So we will see what I draw and if there's any way to come back for this at the end of turn 5. My turn 5, terrible round of cards. Kingslayer, which I'm going to struggle to get. Death from afar, so kill a unit in the enemy deployment zone with a unit from my deployment zone. There are no units in the enemy deployment zone. And troops on the ground. Hold 3 objectives with infantry units. I only have 1 infantry model remaining. So let's discard troops on the ground and death from afar and redraw for double points. Hold the line! Even worse. So I am not going to score any points this turn, but let's see what damage I can do in order to try and see if the game continues and if there's anything I can do to push back from there. Movement phase, the Primaris Psyker moves up in Uriel, hoping to unleash a smite. The Lemon Rust stays where it is to open, the Wyvern falling back. So we're going to start off with a smite from the Primaris Psyker, which passes, doing D3 wounds. 1, oh that's unfortunate, he had 2 remaining, so he's down to 1 wound. Let's check, as we move on to the shooting phase, if I have a grenade on the Psyker. I'm not actually sure if he has a grenade. Let's double check his profile and then we'll come back with the rest of the shooting. Nope, no grenades for the Psyker, so I'm going to fire my last pistol at Uriel. He hits on a 3, he fails to hit. So, what's worth shooting at? Let's put... I think I need to measure up, but I think Uriel's too close. So I think we're probably going to have to fire at the Venom and at the infantry squad here. So I'll measure up, see if I can maybe last cannon Uriel in the face, which would be quite nice. And we'll come back with the firepower for the Layman Russ. In my shooting phase, the Layman Russ fired at the Venom, Doug using lightning fast reflexes to make me hit on 6s. But I did manage to roll 2 6s with the battle cannons and destroyed it, killing 2 of the squad inside. The heavy bolters killing 2 of the squad here. Over here, I may as well charge in, because I'm going to die anyway. So I will assault with the Primaris Psyker on Uriel. Does he have any...
he has a splint pistol.
Splint pistol, so... which he doesn't hit with. I make it in with a 3, just enough. And I'll see how many attacks I have, and if I can do any damage. So, 3 attacks, hitting on 3s with the Primaris Psyker, that's 1 hit. Wounding on 5s because I'm strength 5 with the Force Stave. That's no win, so this could hurt in reply.
So 4 attacks back, hitting on 2s. And winning on 2s with poison.
3 wins. Any AP?
No.
Nope, no AP, so I think it's a 5-up save. Ah, make 2, so 1 goes through. Is that a single wound?
Single wound.
Single wound. So at the end of my turn, I score no points, and I will discard. Doesn't matter which I discard. I'm not getting Kingslayer, and I'm not getting Hold the Line, because I simply don't have enough units left, or I won't at the end of this turn. So at the end of turn 5, that takes it to 18 points to the Drukhari, and 13 points for the Astra Militarum. So. With that, so end of turn 5, Doug started. We'll roll to see if the game continues. It does not, on a roll of a 2, so that is a victory for the Drukhari, who also get Linebreaker, taking it up to 19 points to 13. So a decisive victory for the forces of the Drukhari. As you can see, very few units left on each side, but the Drukhari having made it all the way across the board. So congratulations to Doug on the victory, and we'll come back to you with some after battle thoughts for this game. That's the end of the game. Thanks to Doug for a fun game and a decisive win for the Drukhari. So, some of our thoughts on the battle. I think my initial thoughts were the deployment zone really didn't help my army. I would have liked to have been either spread across the board for Dawn of War or Hammer and Anvil, forcing you to come further. I could have deployed further back. But being bunched up in the corner and with Doug so close on the other side of this bastion meant I only really got a turn or 2 of firepower before you were right on my lines, and you could concentrate much of your army on going after mine. You didn't really have to spread out and make difficult decisions with my long-range firepower. That didn't help, although saying that, had it been either of those deployment zones, I might have struggled to get out to get the objectives, which I knew was going to be a problem for the Guard in Maelstrom. Unfortunately, the way my Guard army is built for previous editions, so mobility hasn't really been key in the force. So I had a couple of Chimeras, which survived a bit, but even with the Guard, I think with the orders, move is really good for board control.
When you managed to grab objective 6 twice.
I think I just need to get either more infantry in this army. It was very tank heavy, which didn't really... It helped a little, because I think without all the tanks, I would have struggled to take on the Talos. I think
as well, when you start using the new Vigilus stratagems, the new relics, the shooting twice with the Wyverns, all that kind of stuff is just going to pile so much more damage into the Talos.
That's true. For all getting a flat 3 damage on my battle cannons would have been a big help, because I think my tank commander rolled like a 1 damage every time he got one through, pretty much. So getting flat 3 would have helped. The Talos, as per usual, soaked up a ton of damage with their 4-up invuln. It was a good army against Guard. The Talos soaked up a lot of firepower. The Venoms are a pain to take on with Guard, because you're hitting on 5s or 6s if you use lightning flash reflexes. So that really hurts them. So I think it was good army. They have the mobility for the objective game. Ykarn I wasn't impressed with. It basically killed a company commander, a few autocannons, and then just died with, a battle cannon to the face.
More than slightly unlucky, I think.
She was. You did have to hold her back for a while though to get the objectives. But no, other than that, it was a fun game. As I say, sometimes the cards were with me, sometimes they weren't, but Maelstrom's my favourite game. I can't complain when the cards go the other way, because there's plenty of times they go my way. It's still my favourite way to play. I'm liking the board. I like the Badlands. It's some nice objective line of sight blocking terrain, and this nice 2nd edition card bunker. I'm a big fan of these card terrain, so I need to get the fire base.
I need to do more of those.
They were really nice. They were easy to put together. You don't really have to paint them. You can paint the bulkheads. This was actually a gift from one of the readers of the blog. I think it was Dave. Forgive me if that's wrong, but he was. This was one of the few that I was missing. I've got pretty much the whole set, so that was nice of him. So, Doug, any thoughts on your game plan? It seemed to work quite well.
Yeah, I think I got helped a lot by the deployment zones, as we'd already said. I think my army was slightly more proactive in this kind of thing, but I had to get up and close. I had to start touching tanks, otherwise I was just going to get blown off the board.
Yeah. What didn't help for me as well, I found, was most of my gamble cards were defend objectives, which you cannot score at the end of your turn and get double points. So that's a little unfortunate. But that's the way the game goes. You can't complain. Can't complain when the cards are good to you, as they were on, I think, turn 4. I got a really good draw. Turn 5, I got a bad draw. But Doug's was equally. He scored very well, but not amazing cards. They were decent. Did well with some of the gambles.
I quite liked the shuffling on the mission. That felt good. You had a few that you just couldn't score, so you got to shuffle them away and gamble for something good. Yeah, it was. Chapter-approved missions are very well designed. I
like the new chapter-approved ones. The Eternal War, I'm not a fan of Eternal War missions, but I think end-of-game objectives favour...
Chapter-approved.
The new ones, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Most of them tend to favour just killing your opponent and jumping on the end. You don't really need to pay attention to the mission till the end. The new chapter-approved ones, I'll agree. The progressive scoring, the only troops or HQ being allowed to score.
Except for the invulnerable save mission.
Except for that mission, I don't think many people are a fan, because as we were talking about before the game, it pretty much makes demons impossible to play that mission. If you're negating an 18-inch bubble invulnerable save, you're pretty much killing that army.
I think the point is not so much the way that a mission can favour a particular list, is that mission invalidates whole factions. you can't build around it. You can't do anything. You get that mission and you're gonna lose, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that problem when I'm facing knights. I'm happy for their invulnerable saves to disappear, but yeah, any other faction, it's a bit poor. It's not great. But yeah, no, thanks to Doug again for a great game and another victory. I think you're 2 for 1 on the channel. The first game was against the Yunari, the ultimate filthy Yunari against my Death Watch.
Yeah.
Second game was against my Genestealer Cults, which I managed to pull a win on the Maelstrom. And this is our third game in which Doug's got a win, so I'm hoping to come back at him with either my Genestealer Cults or my Death Watch again.
I'm not looking forward to Genestealer Cults.
Yeah, I've got a lot of my units painted up, so I think I've got the... I need to get the Kellermoth built and painted, some nice 12 pistol shots in at your characters. Would be quite pleasant, so hopefully we'll get Doug back again soon for another game, and thanks to him again for a good game and a well-deserved victory. And remember, if you enjoy the games, like and subscribe to the channel.